Have you ever shared something deeply personal, something from the very core of your being, with a friend or even a close family member, only to later feel a pang of regret? Perhaps it was a secret dream, a past mistake, or a worry gnawing at your heart. And after you spoke those words, did you feel a shift? A subtle change in how you were perceived? Or perhaps a sudden vulnerability you hadn't anticipated? It's a painful reality that sometimes, in our desire for connection or understanding, we inadvertently open ourselves up to unintended consequences. We believe that sharing everything builds stronger bonds. But the truth is, not every truth is meant for every ear. Some insights, some details, some plans are best kept close to your heart, protected like precious jewels. In this video, we'll explore 5 crucial areas of your life where discretion can actually be your greatest strength, helping you maintain your peace, your dignity, and your independence as you navigate this wonderful stage of life. It's not about being secretive or untrustworthy. It's about being wise. So, settle in. Because what we're about to discuss might just change how you think about your relationships and your personal boundaries. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you about yourself and others. Let's dive right into the first area where a little discretion goes a long way your exact financial situation and any specific inheritance plans you might have. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I trust my family. They need to know. And yes, a certain level of transparency, especially with a spouse or a trusted financial advisor, is absolutely vital for planning. But we're talking about the specifics here, the exact figures in your savings, the precise value of your investments, the details of who gets what down to the last penny, or even how much you've been helping one child over another. Why is this a secret best kept close? Well, for several important reasons. Firstly, it can open the door to unwanted pressure or manipulation. Once people know the precise extent of your assets, you might find yourself facing requests for loans, outright demands, or even subtle guilt trips. Some family members might feel entitled to a share before it's legally theirs, or they might believe they deserve more than others. This isn't always malicious. Sometimes it stems from their own financial struggles or a perceived need, but it puts you in a difficult, uncomfortable position, turning your generosity into an obligation. Or worse, your hard-earned savings into a source of conflict. Secondly, sharing these intimate financial details can breed resentment and jealousy among family members, even if your intentions are noble and your distribution plan is fair in your eyes. Once specific numbers are out in the open, comparisons begin. Why did so-and-so get this much? Why wasn't I given that? These questions, often unspoken but deeply felt, can fester and create lasting rifts within the family. Instead of fostering unity, it can tear relationships apart, leaving you heartbroken and wondering why your efforts to be fair led to so much strife. Imagine a scenario where you've always prided yourself on being a loving, unifying presence in your family, only to find yourself at the center of a storm of envy and grievance, simply because specific financial information became public knowledge. It's a sad reality. But human nature, when mixed with money, can sometimes reveal its less appealing side. Thirdly, and this is a particularly sensitive point, revealing too much about your finances can make you a target for exploitation, not just from family, but from others. Scammers often prey on seniors, and detailed knowledge of your assets can make you seem like an attractive mark. Even well-meaning friends or acquaintances might subtly try to involve you in risky investments or business ventures. Believing you have plenty to spare, your financial independence, which you've worked so hard to build, is a powerful shield against these pressures. When you maintain a dignified discretion about your exact wealth, you protect that independence. So, what's the actionable step here? Be vague. If someone asks about your finances, you can say, "We're comfortable," or "We've made provisions for the future," or "Our affairs are in order." If it's about inheritance, you can state, We've consulted with our lawyer, and everything is documented. You don't need to justify or explain further. Your will, your trusts, your financial plans. These are private conversations you have with your trusted legal and financial professionals, and perhaps your spouse. They are not topics for casual conversation at family dinners or with friends. Keep the specific numbers and distribution plans private. This isn't about distrust. It's about wisdom and protecting your peace and the future harmony of your family. Now that we've discussed guarding our financial peace, let's turn our attention to an equally sensitive, but often overlooked, personal boundary. Moving on from our finances, there's another deeply personal area that often leads to unexpected heartache when shared too freely: your deep personal regrets or unresolved past conflicts. We all carry burdens from our past, moments we wish we could rewind and redo, words we wish we hadn't said, opportunities we let slip away, or hurts we still feel from long ago disagreements. In our later years, there can be a strong urge to unburden ourselves, to seek understanding, forgiveness, or even just validation for our feelings. We might share these intimate details with friends or family, hoping for empathy, a listening ear, or perhaps even absolution. But this can often backfire, leading to more pain than relief. When you share a deep regret, especially one that might involve actions you took or failed to take, you risk being judged, even by those who love you. They might not understand the context, the emotional turmoil you were going through, or the lessons you've learned since. Instead of the empathy you seek, you might receive unsolicited advice, a rehash of why you were wrong, or even a subtle shift in their perception of you. You might find that the person you confided in now sees you differently, perhaps with pity, disappointment, or even a sense of superiority. This can diminish your own sense of self-worth and leave you feeling more vulnerable and exposed, rather than lightened. The past, once shared, can also become a weapon or a point of leverage in future disagreements. Imagine confiding a deeply personal mistake, only to have it subtly referenced in a later argument, even if unintentional. It undermines trust and can make you regret ever opening up. Similarly, airing unresolved past conflicts, especially long-standing family feuds or grievances, rarely brings the resolution you desire when shared with others who weren't directly involved or aren't equipped to help. You might be seeking an ally, someone to validate your side of the story, but instead, you could be fueling gossip, drawing others into old dramas they don't need to be part of, and inadvertently creating new divisions. The person you're confiding in might feel uncomfortable, torn between loyalties, or simply burdened by the weight of your unresolved history. It doesn't heal the old wound. It often just spreads the pain. So, what's the wise approach here? Processing deep regrets and old conflicts is absolutely essential for your peace of mind. But the audience for this process is crucial. Instead of confiding in casual friends or family who might be too close or too biased, consider journaling your thoughts and feelings. Writing can be incredibly cathartic, allowing you to examine your past without external judgment. If the burden is truly heavy, or if the regret involves making amends, consider talking to a therapist or a spiritual advisor. These professionals are trained to listen without judgment, to offer tools for processing difficult emotions, and to help you find pathways to healing or resolution without dragging others into your personal history. They provide a safe, confidential space where you can truly unburden yourself and work towards peace. The key is to heal the wound, not simply to expose it. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, often comes from within, not from external validation. Just as important as guarding our past is how we manage our present health and worries. This brings us to the third secret: you should never share in detail every specific health concern or worry you have, beyond what's absolutely necessary for your care or comfort. Now, let's be clear: open communication with your doctor, and sharing pertinent information with trusted caregivers who are directly involved in your well-being is paramount. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the tendency to share every ache, every pain, every minor symptom, every fleeting health anxiety with friends, acquaintances, and even distant family members. Why is this a secret best kept to yourself? Firstly, it can lead to a deluge of unsolicited, often unqualified, advice. Everyone suddenly becomes an expert. You'll hear about miracle cures, diets, supplements, and remedies that worked for their aunt's neighbor's cousin. While well-intentioned, this can be overwhelming, confusing, and potentially dangerous if it contradicts professional medical advice. It distracts you from your actual treatment plan and can fill your head with unnecessary anxieties or false hopes. Secondly, constantly detailing your ailments can subtly shift how others perceive you. Instead of seeing you as a vibrant, engaged individual, they might start seeing you primarily as the one with health problems. This isn't fair to you. It can lead to pity, which can feel condescending, or it can make people uncomfortable, causing them to subtly distance themselves. You might find that conversations increasingly revolve around your health rather than your interests, your accomplishments, or your lively opinions on the world. You become defined by your ailments rather than your whole person. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, constantly vocalizing every worry about your health can actually amplify your anxiety. Our minds are powerful. When we repeatedly speak about our fears, we give them more energy and make them feel more real and pervasive. It can become a self-fulfilling prophecy of worry. While it's natural to feel concerned about health changes as we age, dwelling on and broadcasting every minor symptom can erode your own peace of mind and create a cycle of negativity that impacts your overall well-being. Think about it. When you focus on what's going well, you feel better. When you focus on what's not, it's harder to feel positive. So, what's the actionable step when asked how you are? A general, "I'm doing well, thank you," or "taking things day by day," is perfectly adequate. If you have a significant health event, share the necessary details with a select few whom you trust implicitly to offer genuine support, not just unsolicited advice or pity. Focus your conversations with others on shared interests, hobbies, and positive life experiences. Take control of your own narrative. Let your vibrant spirit, your engaging personality, and your positive outlook be what defines you, not the occasional ache or worry. Talk to your doctors about your concerns. Yes, but for everyone else. Project strength and resilience. Next, we'll dive into a critical area of communication that can often make or break family harmony. This brings us to a sensitive area often overlooked, yet one that can wreak havoc on relationships: your critical opinions about other family members, shared with their relatives. It's so tempting, isn't it, to vent about a sibling's annoying habit to another sibling, or to complain about a child's choices to a grandchild. We might seek validation, commiseration, or simply feel the need to unburden ourselves. But sharing these negative opinions, even subtly, with others within the family dynamic, is a secret that can erode trust and fracture relationships faster than almost anything else. Why is this a secret best kept to yourself? Firstly, it fuels gossip and creates an unhealthy triangulation. Instead of directly addressing an issue with the person involved, you're dragging an uninvolved third party into the emotional drama. This puts them in an incredibly awkward position. They might feel compelled to take sides, or they might simply feel uncomfortable and resentful that you're putting them in the middle. What you say to one family member about another can easily be repeated, often exaggerated, and eventually make its way back to the person you were criticizing. And when it does, the trust is broken. The person you criticized will feel betrayed by you, and the person you confided in might feel used or guilty. Family relationships are complex webs, and introducing negativity into one thread can cause the whole fabric to unravel. Imagine how it would feel if you heard that a loved one was speaking ill of you behind your back, even if they were just venting to someone else. It hurts, doesn't it? It plants seeds of doubt and suspicion that are incredibly hard to remove. Secondly, constantly criticizing family members to others makes you appear untrustworthy and negative. People will begin to wonder what you say about them when they're not around. It can create an atmosphere of suspicion and discomfort, where family gatherings become less about genuine connection and more about navigating unspoken tensions. You might inadvertently gain a reputation as someone who stirs the pot or thrives on negativity, which isn't the legacy most of us want to leave. Thirdly, it prevents genuine resolution. If you have a legitimate issue with a family member, the only way to address it constructively is to communicate directly with them, in a private and respectful manner. Venting to others might provide a temporary emotional release, but it doesn't solve the underlying problem. It perpetuates the conflict and prevents you from finding a path to understanding or resolution. So, what's the actionable step if you have a genuine concern about a family member, and it's something that can be constructively addressed? Speak to that person directly and privately. Focus on your feelings and needs, rather than making accusations. Use I statements, like, I feel concerned when X happens, rather than, you always do X. If direct communication isn't possible or advisable, or if it's simply a personality quirk you find irritating, then learn the power of silence. Vent to a truly neutral party, like a non-family friend who has no connection to the situation. Or better yet, process your feelings through journaling or a therapist. Choose peace over being right or needing to vent every frustration. Your relationships are too precious to be undermined by casual criticism. Finally, let's talk about our future and why sometimes our dreams and detailed life plans are best kept under wraps until they are solid. This is the fifth secret: your detailed future life plans, especially if they are uncertain, unconventional, or controversial. This could be anything from plans to sell your home and move across the country, to starting a new hobby or business venture, or even making a significant lifestyle change that deviates from what your family expects. Why is this a secret best kept private until the time is right? Firstly, sharing your dreams and plans too early, especially before they are fully formed or when you are still in the brainstorming phase, can invite a flood of unsolicited opinions, doubts, and discouragement. While most people mean well, their advice often comes from their own fears, experiences, or limited perspectives. They might tell you all the reasons why your plan won't work, why it's too risky, or why you're too old for such an endeavor. This negativity, even if unintended, can be incredibly deflating. It can chip away at your enthusiasm, plant seeds of doubt in your own mind, and make you second-guess yourself, potentially derailing a wonderful opportunity simply because you opened it up to too many critics before you were ready to defend it. Your dreams are tender things, and they need nurturing and protection, especially in their infancy. Secondly, revealing plans that are still fluid or uncertain can lead to awkwardness and pressure if they change. Life happens. Plans evolve. What seems like a brilliant idea today might not feel right tomorrow, or external circumstances might force a pivot. If you've announced a major move or a new venture to everyone you know, and then it doesn't materialize, you might feel obligated to explain, justify, or even feel like a failure. This creates unnecessary stress and makes you less likely to explore new possibilities freely in the future. You want the freedom to explore, adapt, and change course without feeling the weight of others' expectations or disappointment. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, keeping your plans private allows you to cultivate quiet determination and inner strength. When you don't need external validation for your dreams, you rely on your own conviction and belief. This builds resilience. It's a powerful experience to work diligently towards a goal, to overcome obstacles, and then to reveal your accomplishment once it's tangible. The satisfaction comes from within, not from the applause or approval of others. So, what's the actionable step when you're dreaming, planning, and exploring new possibilities? Keep those details close. Share your aspirations only with a very select few, perhaps a single, truly supportive friend, a coach, or a mentor who genuinely believes in your potential and will offer constructive support, not just criticism. Once your plans are firm, once the contracts are signed, the tickets are booked, or the course is set, then you can share the exciting news. Let your actions speak louder than your initial intentions. Allow yourself the space to dream big, to explore new paths, and to change your mind without external pressure. Your future is yours to shape. And sometimes, the most powerful way to build it is quietly, with unwavering focus. So, we've journeyed through 5 crucial areas where discretion isn't about being guarded, but about being wise, protecting your financial peace, safeguarding your emotional well-being by carefully choosing whom to share past regrets with, maintaining control over your health narrative, preserving family harmony by avoiding critical gossip, and nurturing your future plans until they are ready to bloom. This isn't about being secretive or untrustworthy. It's about understanding that your peace, your autonomy, and your well-being are precious. And like any precious thing, they deserve protection. It's about building strong, healthy boundaries that allow you to thrive without constantly feeling exposed or vulnerable. Remember, small shifts in how we communicate can lead to immense peace. You have the right to your privacy, your personal space, and the dignity that comes from knowing when to share and when to simply hold something close. This wisdom grows with age, and applying it now can transform your relationships and your sense of self. It's about choosing to manage your interactions in a way that fosters respect, reduces unnecessary drama, and allows you to focus on what truly matters, living a full, joyful, and authentic life on your own terms. What are your thoughts on this? Have you ever shared something you later regretted? Or perhaps you have a secret you wisely kept to yourself that truly benefited you? Share your experiences below. Your insights are incredibly valuable to our community. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel for more helpful insights designed just for you. As we navigate this amazing chapter of life together, remember, your life, your experiences, your peace, they are precious. Guard them well. Live your best life at every age, with wisdom and joy.